Welcome, Dungeon Discourse, as Soko is doing something. Hey guys!
Hello.
Welcome to Dungeon Discourse, my dudes.
Hey, that me.
As Soko is just, you know, casually undressing himself with views.
Wow, you would do that, cunt.
What do you mean, dude?
Whoa, that's
welcome to
here, boys.
Dungeon Discourse, everybody. The show about the show. Where we go in depth about the previous episode of Soko.
The man. Thanks for the sub.
Thanks for procking that resub, you little dinger. Oh, that's a lot of poggers. Okay, dude, lit. No, we out here. Poggers, poggers. Anything else? No poggers? Alright, lit. No, the show about the show where we go in depth about the previous episode of Dungeon Select. Because it's the first time I have Soko and Koiba on, we're going to talk about their D&D experience so far, their character or characters, as one of them has had.
Yikes.
Too soon.
I mean, it's been a little wild, man.
It's been a while.
It's been like as long as Ash
Have we played almost like next session?
I've
we
played
played more
them both
Naurranc
at the same
than we
amount
have.
now.
Yeah, played 8 episodes.
You died in episode 8, and
Yeah.
yes, 2 days ago was episode 16. So yeah, we're about to.
Yeah. We played in the same amount.
Yeah, we're about to hit that.
Damn.
Hit that bump.
Oh, Naurranc's about to become your main smile.
But I'm already Tracer.
Okay, dude.
That's toxic. Fuck off.
Yo, Pog Plan Retro. Alright, so we're gonna be talking about some D&D stuff. As we all know, we're all avid D&D fans. Speaking of D&D, before we start,
Oh yeah.
Ice Cream Dice Kickstarter went live today.
I think I might step the thing up.
Get some.
Most people
They're great.
already backed of the Dungeon Select crew. I'll be backing some this week because I can get because the shipping is not that bad to the EU.
It's really
No,
good.
it's not. He
It's
actually has
really
like
good.
really good cheap shipping.
Yeah,
Like $10?
So they
$10 good.
started today. Yeah, €10 if you buy
10
like
euros.
8 or more sets. Their goal.
You're buying
Okay,
8
so
sets.
their goal is $30,000 Canadian, and right now, as we speak, they've already hit 21,000 Canadian.
Yep.
That's
Like
so
they're
close.
almost, they're like 2/3 of the way there, over 2/3 of the way
They're
there.
gonna beat their goal
in
in
one
just
day.
1 day.
And their stretch goals are
That'd be
also
nuts.
really cool. Like their stretch goals are also really dope. If they raise 50,000, you can make a dice set that you ordered instead of the standard 7-piece set. You can also get 10d6 with a 10d10, just in exchange. So instead of a full set, you just get a bunch of d6s or d10s. So if you're like,
full sets.
if you play, yeah, but if you like, but if you play like, if you play like super high level D&D, you have like spells where you have to roll 20d6 damage.
Also, like
know?
you have
Nice.
also there's a bunch of like tabletop RPGs that use like 2 to 12 d6. It's like who the
if
fuck
they
I would say
raise-
D6 are never a bad idea.
If they raise $200,000, every set pre-ordered gets upgraded to an 11 set dice set instead of 7. So you get 3 extra d6s and an extra d20 with your set. So that's anyone that backed. If they stretch to 200,000, they
I
make
don't know
it
if they'll hit
11,
that. 'Cause how long is the Kickstarter going for?
30 days.
30 days. Yeah.
30 days. So 7th of March, I think, is when
Maybe.
7th
I
of
mean,
March, yeah.
I hope they hit it.
I mean,
That'd
they're
be
stretch
fucking
goals.
sick.
They're stretch goals for a reason, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
to be able to make the dice that they want to make, they have to have 30k, and they're over 2/3 of the way there. I'm putting the link to the Kickstarter in chat right now. Check him out. The guy who's doing this is also a super cool dude.
Mark's a cool dude.
Mark's a legend.
Mark's a legend. Picking up that.
So check him out.
Great guy. Very active.
alright.
Like if you post on his Twitter, he will probably reply
Yes.
back. It's pretty great.
Definitely. I shot him a little DM earlier today, like, hey man, congrats on the whole Kickstarter thing and stuff. Yeah, this is a nice guy. Very nice guy. Yo, what's up, Luxby?
Yo,
was it
Bucks
Lux?
Wee.
Dungeon. Okay, this is like there's like battle music going on for The Witcher, and it's a little bit of Among Us.
Yo, but Witcher's lit though.
Yeah, it is. Big shout out to CD Projekt Red for allowing us to use the music for anything Dungeon Select related. Love it.
Honestly.
All right, so Dungeon Discourse. Last episode, you lot fought Lord Iandek in a whopping 3.5 hour lasting boss fight.
Easy
That
fight
boss
though.
fight.
Fun fact, I looked it back up. In game, you've spent exactly 1 minute in combat.
Yeah.
up.
We literally
Back-
spent an
10
actual
rounds,
minute.
10 rounds, 10
That
rounds.
combat was 10 rounds. Fuck. That was
10
only
rounds.
10 rounds.
Yeah,
It felt
because,
so
yeah, because I
10
used
rounds.
all my holy water bullets and I used all of the stakes.
Yeah, you didn't
mean-
have. Yeah. You didn't use one normal
Well,
attack.
that means
Yeah,
like
you
my
have to be
rage
normal
would have.
attacks.
If my rage didn't end early, I could have got my rage would have been like
yeah.
1 full rage. That's
The boss fight lasted exactly a minute. They just every round went very long because of the lair actions and all that.
That was
shit.
just because a lot of people and it was fucking
Yeah, I was
stressed.
gonna say,
So we all scatterbrained.
So
So like
about 3.5 hours, including a break. We took a little break in between to go pee and all that.
like 10 minutes. at most.
But yeah, you guys won. Octanus got close to dying, but thanks to a spider dying from our friend Jippo, she made it out alive.
Thankfully,
Because little tidbit, if Iandek would have had another turn, and Octanus would have been down, he would have multi-attacked to just fucking destroy her. So.
And those are instant death fails.
Yep.
Yeah, and if any of them are crits too.
Two,
So, like,
yep.
Yeah, that's 2 death fails.
Shit, now.
So
Well, Belle could have had a new character
Belle,
after
yeah,
completing her
Octanus-
arc.
Octanus
Whoa.
could have very easily died.
Okay, no satisfaction from killing Iandek because she's fucking
we
dead.
got
Exactly,
really
like-
close.
You
know,
your whole
But
story.
you guys have fought and defeated Lord Iandek. You got a nice sack of money as a reward as well from his personal treasury. And now, for the first time since pretty much the beginning, you have no pressing matters. You're chilling.
well,
We're big villain.
Well, Nakul thinks the Rascal things are very pressing now.
I mean, obviously, but that's something that's being worked
none
on
of
in
the
the
rest of us give a
background.
fuck,
You know,
though.
that's
Yeah,
being,
yeah, like Nakul very much
you
like
don't
this.
even-
Like,
yo.
we need to get this shit out of here. We need to get like this.
you
is
don't
pressing.
even, or you kind of know what's going on, but not
I
really.
know what's going on. They explained it to me.
Yeah, but Aberrant has no fucking clue.
Yeah, Aberrant doesn't even know fucking shit about her shield.
I mean, like for the next session, like my plan is kind of like we'll do chat and shit like that. Be like, hey, by the way, this is what we're doing. Smile.
Yeah, no. Next session will definitely be a little bit of a chill.
Laura's gonna get reamed.
Yeah, what's up, bottom? Because
Live on
as far as the party knows, the Raskil thing is being worked on the background by Nakul, Lausanne, and Tamar, and Mokin. 4 of them are all working on that. We're trying to find someone to translate the books and all that shit, and making sure that they figure out who or where the next council boy could be.
I think the biggest thing with this next session is gonna be us all.
How long
trying to
in?
figure out
We
how
just
wanted
had
is
16. We just had our 16th session this Sunday. So we had 16 sessions so far.
It's 16. It does not feel it. It feels like
I mean, 16.
so much more, but so
It feels
much
like we've
less.
done so much more, but not enough. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
think
no,
about
right.
it. We've been at it for like a good 20 weeks, bro, because we took breaks.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
So
It
that's
just
like
feels
almost
like...
that's,
taken a
all,
couple, like,
that's,
we haven't
that's
taken
almost
too many.
half. That's almost half a year. We've already been doing this. Like it was at the tail end of summer when we started.
Yeah, it was like end of September, wasn't it? Because we had whenever Halloween episode was the week before Halloween. So yeah.
It was October, yeah. We started October.
Yeah, so we started September.
We,
yeah.
we planned it in September. That's when we came up with the group.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Dutch started it in October.
No, we started in September. Like the last
We
week,
did start
last week of September or some
last
shit.
week. It was definitely September start.
Maybe you
Yeah.
brought it up like late August then?
No.
That sounds about right.
I don't know,
Oh,
dude.
actually, maybe.
But it's on the wiki, by the way.
Done the wiki. Oh yeah,
Hang
wiki.
on.
Fuck knows, dude.
Hey man, Wikipedia's come handy for Dungeon Discourse.
We, definitely, dude. Episode list, because I put the first 5 episodes on the wiki already. The first episode aired September 23rd.
Wow, plus we had 2 episodes in September. Fuck.
Yep, and the 30th.
So we're not quite 6 months in, but we're close.
No, we're close.
We're fucking close.
Really
Awesome.
close. So I got my 2 guests here. Soko, let's start with you.
Oof.
Before we
Thanks.
go into the episode, I want to really just, hey man, how's it going? How you
Doing
doing?
good, bud. Apex Legends came out, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's
because
fucking
It's a
lit.
game that looks really good, and I've been literally complaining about this to everyone. Those of you that I've complained to, you know, I've been looking for like a shooter, whether it's a BR, a competitive, a 2-team shooter, whatever it may be, something to grind my life on. Which is why I've been playing a lot of Smash lately, because I just don't know what else to play. So having this,
It's
as
lit.
long as they don't fuck it up, I'm.
We'll be playing some after this stream chat, so stick around for that. Soko, what is your D&D experience so far? Like, how much have you played?
So-
How long? When was the first time you played?
First time I played was
give
actually
us
with
the
my
rundown.
dad. This is the 2nd edition.
Oh shit.
Way back, like, well, I think 3rd edition was out, but 3.5 what? I don't know. I was like 7,
Okay.
I was
That's
really young.
it's a while ago.
and my dad was like, "Hey, you'll like this, smile. And we went over to his friend's house, and they had like a little group. And, you know, we played. I never really got super into it till I started playing 3.5 when I was like 14.
Okay.
I skipped over 4th edition completely because everyone said it was stupid, and it's completely broken in my opinion. Like now that I've looked over it in hindsight, like I understand why no one really wants to play it. It's disgusting.
I've never looked into it, to be honest.
But I've probably, you know, I played through 2 full level campaigns all the way to level 20. I played a cleric in one and a fighter barbarian in the other, which was really fun. And now we in 5e, all my experiences with you, like that. I just started playing 5e with you last
cool.
July when we started that.
Yeah, I think so. When we started the off-stream campaign, yeah, like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I was moved into this place already. No, yeah, I was. So it was like July.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, July or something. It's wild, man. So that's yeah.
We've been playing that one for a long time.
Koiba,
we only meet like once a month. So.
What's your experience with D&D?
So D&D, I played my first D&D was 4.5e.
Okay.
Disgusting to start with, yeah.
You the man.
This
thanks
was
for the sub. You fucking legend.
4 years ago, probably.
Yo, Profane. Thanks for the resub, bud. Appreciate you.
Fucking yeah. I played like 3 sessions of it because just like we said, let's play fucking D&D. Like we just like we spoke about like. And my friends had a big group they're playing. I was like, well, I don't like the people you're playing with, but like, you're my best mate. So let's play some fucking D&D. Yeah, sure. Played 4.5. I played a Dragonborn Warlord. That's how like 4.5 shitty 4.5e is. They're warlords, right?
Okay.
I have no idea. Loved it. And basically, they're like barbarians, but they can move people around. Like you can spend like your action to move someone 10 foot. Like of your allies, you can command your allies to do shit. It very much was like bullshit. It's like, hey, I'm gonna die. Just move them in front of me. Don't take the opportunity, because opportunity attacks were only like the closest. So if you moved back and then moved someone in front of you in their way, they got the attacks and you didn't. So like,
what the fuck?
It was, yeah, it was fucked, dude. There's a reason why I say no one should ever play them.
4.5
yeah,
it's just bullshit.
And
like warlords were just funny because I played it.
And rogues were completely overpowered.
Everything was
completely over. I mean, rogues were just like you could literally solo kill.
We're doing well, like, Profane. We're just being nerds talking about D&D, dude. Having a good time.
Then I played Star Wars Edge of the Empire, which is a tabletop RPG. Has its own fucking weird dice. I played like 2 sessions of that, and which again, the same people I played 4.5e with. We played Edge of the Empire. Really good fun. Really good fun tabletop RPG. Then 5th edition, I watched Critical Role for a bit, and then I played with just some friends. We played about 5 sessions and then just got busy, and like it's a campaign that's still technically going on. We just haven't found the time. Like we played it early this year, last year even. Sorry, we played that from like February-ish. We were playing on the weekends. And yeah, so like I was playing you would know the dwarf in my backstory is actually based on the character I was playing in that campaign.
That's funny. Okay.
Very much exactly the same. Like the names changed a little bit just so it wasn't exactly the same, but like pretty much that character's based on they got into the opening backstories in my head at least.
It's cool.
Yeah, so it's like well I don't think I'm going to play him that much, just because of how the group is and like where I'm now busy with a lot of D&D here. So but that's okay. And then I've DM'd a couple of times. I've DM'd some one-shots, like 2 or 3 one-shots with a group of friends that I wanted to do some DMing myself, to do a campaign. Again, just didn't find the time. Just
campaigns. Speaking as someone who's DMing 2 campaigns at the moment, it's a lot of work, fam. It's a lot. Yeah,
well, so we did. Well, I was just gonna run through like fucking Minds of Fandalva, so it wasn't exactly like homebrewing my own world. It was all there for me. Just I wanted like some practice doing a campaign.
Yeah, maybe that's
just, I couldn't get the group together.
Or weren't you DMing a little one shot at some point? Sometime soon, TM.
Sometimes in TM, as in I'm planning on a one shot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's cool.
At some point. Got a one shot planned. I can start reveal what I want planned. I'm planning a murder mystery adventure. I haven't decided anything. I don't know if I want
a good old whodunit.
Yeah, I don't know if I want it. My players are in the murder mystery or my players investigators. I still need to like. Basically, I just need to find a group of people who aren't level select or like dungeon select to run it and just be like, does this make sense? Like, how does this work?
Fair enough.
Have I made this food? So, but I need to like write it all out and all that shit. But yeah, no D&D.
Good luck. All right, yeah. I said it before. My D&D experience is solely based off of watching Critical Role, thinking like, "Hey, I want to do that too." Smile, and here we are. Just your guys. I want you guys to be honest with me. Honest opinions.
Campaign shit.
What are your thoughts on the campaign so far? Now, for real though. Like, if there's criticism, let me know, because I'm here to learn too. You know.
Legitimately, it is so good. Like, if there are any complaints, there's none that spring to mind, like at all.
Yeah.
Like you've nailed it.
I find that a little hard to believe, you know, because I feel like I fuck up half the time.
Well, I feel like complaint-wise, it's mechanic stuff. I'm more angry at the game, or like my dice roll, or like.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that comes
rolling 2 3s with
comes with the territory.
With disadvantage roll 18 and 20, it's like, what the fuck's the point? You know, like my numbers are so skewed.
With disadvantage rolls 2 net 20s.
That's the thing, though, because we're gonna bring it up. That's the funny thing about you is that everyone is like, wow. Soko and Bell have such high rolls, holy shit! And like,
dude, I rolled really well.
They're cheating, and then I look at you and Hanzo, and I'm like, yeah, but they only roll 1s and 2s. Are they cheating too?
Here's the biggest thing, right? Though, in all accounts, when I hit, I should be hitting like 80% of the time, right? Because like I get +7 to hit, so I have to roll like a 10 or higher.
Yeah,
we did the math. We did the math. Me and Gypsy, or Bell. Bell's attack rolls.
Yeah.
Like the normal attack roll for her type barbarian, because using reckless every turn, her average to roll, including her bonus right now, is 19.
Well, mine should be high because I've got a higher attack bonus. I do more on a roll.
If you roll a d20 with advantage all the time, your average is like 11 point something, 12-ish, and then you add that
it's like just over 12.
Yeah, and then you add that +7 for her, or her +5, 6, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
So her average, statistically, her average should be around 18, 19, which is wild.
Thing is though, my average should be 19, 20 then, because I get now with this new proficiency bonus.
You the same thing. That's the thing. But
with my proficiency bonus, I get +8 now.
You should be getting.
Yeah, but you also don't.
I don't reckless all the time.
You don't reckless all the time.
The problem with me recklessing is like I already kind of get fucked. Like my whole class is to be hit, so recklessing literally just makes me get fucked.
Yeah, the thing with Bell is Bell uses reckless every turn, therefore she has advantage every turn, and you feel that. You get that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Like I say, well,
dude, thanks for the resub. 17 months, Duke.
Fucking legend.
It's almost 2 babies.
That's almost 2 babies. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, but no, Dutch. Like I say, like, you know, like I'm gripped on story. I want to know what happened next. I love it. I love the people I'm playing with as well. Like, sorry to get zombie, but like, it's just we've got such a good group. Like,
I agree. Yeah, I also feel like we got really lucky.
Funny.
When it comes to
like,
group.
I don't come away having a bad time, even when it's like a shit session for me, like roll wise, and I'm like, fuck's sake, I didn't get this done. I didn't hit. Like, at the end of the day, it's still an amazing session, and it's like, it nails everything that I want from D&D.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear.
I think my best thing that I love the most about it is that I'm just 100% invested.
Yeah.
Like, even if I stopped playing the campaign myself, I would literally watch every single second of it because I want to know what's behind everything. Like, if someone took over Naurranc for me,
that means
I would still watch.
That means that from a writer's perspective, that means that I'm doing well enough to keep you guys interested.
So you can't drop the ball ever, because then we'll all leave.
At the end of the day, my main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know anybody. My second goal.
Your second main goal
is my players need to have fun. After that, I'll have fun, and then after that is the stream and all that. As long as you guys have fun, that's my mission accomplished.
Well,
you know?
Like
the stream, the stream is important.
Yeah.
But the second I'm like, hey, something's off, I would get more bothered by the fact that I'm disappointing or not going up to your expectations as the players, because that's who I'm playing with, right? So that's more important to me than the stream.
Yeah. The biggest thing
it's like not like we do this for like notoriety or anything like that.
No, not
we just
at all.
stream it because people are like, hey, we want to see what you're doing. Smile.
Yeah, and we got people invested because there's people there that watch every week and that are here for the behind the scenes, which is wild.
Like sassy.
Which is but that blows my mind. Like there's actually people that like watch every week, and it's nuts because
and ask questions. Like
at the end of the day, it's just 4 hours a week of us playing D&D, you know,
and shooting.
And it's like, and it's like. Fucking hell, it's just mental, man. Like it's like,
wild, yeah.
At the end of the day, like I don't want you to get burnt out either, because that's the thing. You can go so hard on this. I don't want I'm so scared you'll burn out just because I know it's like a big thing. But like hearing you being so passionate about it, like just ease.
Bro, this is my passion project, bro. This is I spend weekly whether it's working on the wiki, whether it's writing the story, whether it's preparing for encounters, whether it's working on behind the scenes shit when it comes to like to potential future guests. On a weekly basis, I spend like 10 hours a week on.
I was like, I hear you spend this much time. I'm like,
dude.
yo, dude, like take a fucking break.
No, but it's like I enjoy doing it. Like in between class and stream, I'll just work on Dungeon Select. I'm
like, dude, come on, like.
Because the way I do it, I'll have like I have 2 monitors, right?
Yeah.
I'll be writing stuff here, and then I'll have Critical Role on the other monitor while I just watch Critical Role while I'm also doing my thing. It's
so when he actually puts like Vax or like
that's happened before while typing like
you the man.
It's happened before.
Little nugget.
Legend.
Yeah, what's up,
the
Opti?
stream campaign.
Yeah.
He did put in.
Thanks for the resub, bud. Appreciate you.
Basically.
Yeah.
In the form of Philip, the barkeep.
Philip the barkeep, Goliath,
Dude, I
barbarian.
hope we encounter him in this campaign.
Ex arena champion.
So that everyone else can meet him.
Great. Kingor, you come in here literally every week asking for a lurk for lurk. I haven't banned you yet because you're a nice guy, but like, hello? What is it? Get it through your skull, please.
Monka.
Thank you. Anyway, it blows my mind.
What were you talking about?
Nothing, dude. Future guests, yeah, dude. Opti, like me and Opti are in talks. By the little meme for Soko. Me and Opti are in talks of finding a way to see if we can get Revan to appear for an episode or something. That'd be cool because Revan is a really dope character that plays in the Offstream campaign.
I'd love to see like anyone, like dude, like fucking Dolgrim. Get Dolgrim in on this campaign.
Yeah, the thing is, because the 2 campaigns play out in the same time, it's really hard to like separate one of those people like to join there.
I mean,
right?
you could just hit technically different timings, but yeah.
So yeah, like that's something that that I'm thinking about. Like, how do I do that? Because that would be fucking cool.
When we both get to the same level, we'll do like a battle.
You are the same. Like, you're all level 5.
Oh lol.
Right? You guys level 5 too, right, Soko? The Offstream campaign.
What?
Offstream campaign is also level 5, right? Pretty sure. Are you 4?
No, we're level 4.
Are you level 4 still? Okay, well,
we'll win.
You were.
I mean, it's also because on that campaign we literally play maybe every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's
hard. Pretty normal.
It's hard, yeah.
Occasionally we'll play every other week.
Like Dungeon Select caught up because it's a weekly thing.
Schedules. It's really hard.
Oh, level 4. My bad. Okay. Still, they only have like an extra attack. What does that mean?
I don't even know what a rogue gets at level 5, to be honest.
Extra attack, pretty sure.
I
doesn't get extra attacks.
Oh.
You sure?
As far as I know.
Do you get increased sneak attack damage?
I do get that, but that's like every 2 levels. Like that's pretty normal.
Okay.
Because I got 30, it increases to 2d6. I'll have 3d6 at that point. I need to
See.
I have no clue, dude.
Oh, you get Uncanny Dodge at 5th level as a rogue.
Ah, that's actually really good.
Which is really good, yeah. Yeah. You get Uncanny Dodge, which is lit.
Once I get evasion too, it's just like,
Yeah, because Uncanny Dodge is for physical attacks and evasion is for magic, right? And traps and shit.
yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Basically, yeah.
I know that you can basically just use both all the time and it's broke.
Pretty much. So yeah, I really appreciate the kind words about the campaign. Not gonna lie, that does me. No problem. But like I'm very like picky when it comes to what I write, and I rewrite shit on the daily when I'm like So like I'm my own worst critic. So.
But then again, that's kind of good because then like it goes through your own filter, and then,
yeah,
like anything.
Yeah,
but then that means anything that we throw at you, like improv. Hey, we're gonna go fuck off and not do what you want us to do. Like, hey, we're gonna.
I mean, I've had to
touch a door handle 7 times.
I've had to improv my fucking ass off, bro. Like one of the funny most fun I've had improving was that whole you stealing that book shenanigans. That was hilarious.
That was so good.
That was probably one of my favorite moments in D&D. Just because, like, in my head, I'm like, at the time that happened, I was just like, you fucking asshole, just let me take this. You can see there's an out here, Dutch. Come on, this is supposed to be a quick little event. This is supposed to be a quick little adventure. Get the book, go off, let's continue the plot, end of episode.
If I were to give my players what they want every time, that wouldn't be a campaign. Come on.
Oh, I know. Like, I mean, I loved it.
7 guns that all shoot in one action.
And like, but I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, okay, great.
Yo, Dutch, your campaign sucks. Should have killed me when you had the chance. Plenty more chances where that one came from, Bell. Don't worry.
I'm joking. Please don't kill Octanus. He's like, I won't, but that circus never left.
Like, hey, if someone just randomly sends her to the plane of water, I mean,
oof. So yeah, I want to go and talk a little bit about your characters because this is the first time I have you on. We're gonna talk about who and why your character is. Yeah, who is your character and why is he who he is, type of thing. You know? What went through your head when creating the character? Just all that shit. So we'll start with you, Koiba. You were like, hey, I'm gonna play D&D.
Yep.
How did you come up with Nakul, and why is he who he is, pretty much? Like, why...
So Nakul was such a weird character for me to make, just because like character creation, like my only other like real big like backstory thing was this paladin I had, and like I loved that paladin to death, and I was like, I want to play spell, like part of me really wants to play spellcaster, but I just didn't know them at all, and like I do want to play another paladin. I was like, fuck, like I guess barbarian classes are my favorite in any RPG. Like I love like that type of class, the rage, just like
fucking hit
shit,
me in the
fucking
face,
massive hat weapon.
Just
I love it.
Smack me in the face as long as I can smack you back harder, type of thing.
And I realized I'd never played a barbarian class in like any tabletop RPG, like ever. I'd always played like the off barbarian, you know, like they're not quite a barbarian, but basically is, but isn't at all, like quite different. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna play barbarian, and I was like, well, I love Dragonborns. Just as a, like, it's my favorite race in D&D is Dragonborn, just because they're so dope. They're just dope. Like, they're just really cool.
They're pretty
like,
cool, I agree, yeah.
Like, you know, and I was like, every time you read about Dragonborns, everyone's like, gotta have the cone weapon. Gotta have a cone weapon. Like, gotta have the, you know, I was like, nah, fuck that, I'm taking line. I'm taking line. Just because, like, I think it's funny. It's just because I think it's good. In the sense, like, I had the idea of a lightning Dragonborn straight away. Straight away I knew I wanted to be, like, a lightning damage, just because the imagery I had, I was like, just in my head, it's what I could see the most. This like blue Dragon Ball, like lightning around him. And then Nakul came about like in 2 writing phases. So like I sent you the very basic shit.
Yeah, you did. It was very basic.
Very basic. Just like here's
very basic.
Yeah, it was very basic. It was very much like this will do.
Even less than mine.
Yeah, it was like 2 paragraphs at most.
It was 2 paragraphs. Like, hey, I'm Nakul.
I didn't write 2 paragraphs.
No, but
yeah,
like,
well. It was,
maybe word-wise it was the same, but your backstory, there was more that I could pull from than from Nakul's backstory.
Yeah, Nakul's backstory is based like, this is what happened, this is kind of what he did. Like, there was more on his friends than there was on Nakul. Because, to me, that made more sense. Like, that's what I could think about, and like, I just like, was starting a new job, and I didn't know.
Don't mind me, stream.
Nice.
I saw that shit.
Oh my god.
There we go, we got our boy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like... I thought you were gonna put it like
no,
over.
No, I just want to like
face there instead of Koiba's.
Yeah.
Should probably do it in studio mode. My bad, boys. Just keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was like, shit, like especially like with all that like that writing shit Laura and Belle were doing. I was like, oh fuck, I need to like.
God,
I need
that
to.
Was wild,
like
though.
Shitters, bro.
I was like, I need to probably extend this backstory, and then I did, and like. I was messaging Dutch, basically like I'd message Dutch like on my lunch break or like on the bus home from work, being like, "Hey, does this make sense? Hey, Dutch, can I like?
Yeah.
Is this too cliche or like can you like draw from this?" And Dutch like send that like just send those like little messages, and he was like, "Yeah, write it, send it to me." I'm like, okay. So I spent like Nakul's he's just a weird character for me.
He's just a nice guy.
He's just a good boy.
He's a good boy.
No, he's done a lot wrong, but like. I've not written about it, and I can't be fucked to because it's too much. Too much shenanigans going down.
There we go. Does that work, chat? Does that work? It works, right? There you go. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
So, like, yeah. Like, Nakul just came out of...
There's no room
like,
for the other one.
Not writing
PNG.
something too cliched was, like, my big thing. It's because I so easily go down cliched routes with, like, backstories. Because it's just like, his parents are... You know, that type of shit. Like, oh hey, he's tragic backstory. Insert tragic backstory number 3, and I'm like, whoops. So I wanted to find something too cliche, but then I wanted something that made sense and that I could draw from. Like,
yeah, there was a discussion on Twitter the other day not the other day, like a couple weeks ago, about how why do D&D characters always have to have some dramatic background? And I was like, well, because no one is gonna enjoy a story about a fucking baker who enjoys his job and just bakes bread all day every day.
I love my family and my wife and kids. I'm just not gonna leave. It's like I would love to play a one shot like that.
I love income. Smile. I sell my bread on the daily.
Why does someone who's enjoying life? Why would they leave?
Why would they go and fucking fight big dragons and shit like that? You know.
Yeah. The only time
like
I could
someone who is like on the streets, like been poor as fuck. Hey, you can make some money doing this. Yeah, they have a reason to go do shit.
Or someone who's like has nothing to lose. You might as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would love to see a campaign, or maybe make him a story that has like is like just a soldier, just a straight up soldier just got caught in the middle of something. Like, has a life at home, everything's fine. He's just like, oh fuck, suddenly I've been sent on. Like, I'd love to play like a one shot like that. It's just a group of soldiers who've just been sent to like the middle of fucking nowhere to deal with a problem, and it's like, oh, this is bigger than we thought.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck having a sense of
gotta run
adventure,
back.
right?
Gotta run back to the kingdom. Be like, yo, do we have permission to like fuck this shit up?
Doing an internship with our party.
That's fucking hilarious, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
hilarious.
So Nakul so far has been together with, I'd say, Tremaris, has been that like haha funny comedic like relief type of thing, right?
Yeah,
But
Nakul
has a lot more going on than meets the eye, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like you and me know a lot more.
Why is he stealing books?
That will all,
Why is he stealing a lot of
in
things?
due time, young Padawan.
Why did he
feel
try
like-
to steal the alcohol?
But I'm excited to, like, the thing is, like, we just had a Octanus her backstory, or one of the plot points from her backstory, I should say.
Fucking perfect.
My tragic background would be that. Yes. Yes. I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we just literally just Sunday finished off the first like personal plot line when it comes to one of the party members. And we definitely branched into a couple of others. Like we branched into a little bit of Tremaris' background. We branched into a little of Nakul's background. We branched a lot of it in
Quite a bit.
Kassiran's background. The only ones that we really haven't touched on yet are Naurranc and Adran.
Well,
I mean,
funny
you
enough,
like slightly touched on mine, but no one noticed anyways, so it doesn't matter.
basically like the two newest characters, which kind of makes sense. Like the two newest characters in the party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
true.
not talked about.
That's what
So,
the thing
like-
that I really try to do with this chapter as a whole is, okay, this is going to be Octanus, her chapter, but I don't want it to be exclusively Octanus. I want there to be, I want the other party members to also have their own shit going on. So that's why we touched on Kassiran's backstory as well. We touched on Tremaris. Yeah, right. Because life goes on. Like I can go and try and track this cunt with my 5 friends, but those 5 friends will also have shit going on at the same time. You know, like the world doesn't revolve
Like I said, I'm
around that
really
one
looking
person.
forward to this next episode where I'm
Wait,
assuming
hold
it's
on.
gonna be quite like RP heavy episode next week.
Next week is going to be very just
because like
anime,
there's so much,
you know, obligatory anime beach episode. You guys have some downtime between.
like there's so much shit that like Nakul's a character just hasn't just got the like it's not the right time to ask.
Next week has a lot of potential for character development.
I feel
think
that definitely will be. Just
people that don't really know each other that well are going to be,
with-
you know, interacting. Maybe a little combat here and there. Maybe a little scrap with some fucking.
I mean,
don't know,
hey
we'll
man, there might be a little bit of
drunk
combat.
yours.
Inter-party combat, that's fucking good. Nakul steals one too many things.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I'm excited for is that even on those like downtime episodes, which we have like one-off before, that's where the plot development happens. That's where you get to see more of the characters. That's where you get to know the characters, and this is like the first time where you really don't have any pressing matters, because the Rastil thing that's being handled, or at least is being researched into. Sure, Kassiran has her thing that you kind of know of, but like
We just talked about that. That's sketch as fuck. Like,
yeah,
we had that one night conversation. We're like, yeah, this is fine. Let's continue this thing. But by the way, didn't you say you fucking murdered shit tons of people? Like, wait.
Dungeon Select for an episode needs to happen. Seto-kun bakes a cake for Soko-sama. Yes.
Bakes a cream pie. Get that right.
Oh baby.
Oh baby.
Yeah, so like the thing about Nakul is that he has been the haha funny guy.
He is a haha funny
But
guy. And, like,
whenever
character
whenever that point comes where the haha funny guy suddenly has that, okay, my story is about to happen, shit's popping off, I'm going to have to be more than the funny haha guy, and it gets emotional, and Nakul gets angry or gets sad. That's when you really start to see like, oh, he's not just that funny guy, haha, XD.
like I said,
Just as a little bit of an example, Critical Role, for instance. Drog and Scanlan were always the haha funny guys, but then when the time came that they had some serious shit going on, that's when you as an audience are like, oh fuck, he's more than just that funny dude, you know? And I feel like
I don't know,
that's
dude.
kind of the same effect we're gonna have with with your, because Nakul is that typical, haha, he's a dumb little barbarian.
I mean, we've seen that, like,
You know?
we've come that fish in, like, the conversation I had with Gwen this last episode. Very much Nakul trying to put, or, like, any conversation she had, like, with Naurranc when they were on the car and talking about stuff. It's very much a, hey, or, like, any conversation, like, I've had with Aberan as well. It's very much, hey, you don't know what you're talking about right now. You think you know me, you don't. Like, back the fuck off. You don't know what you're doing. I do. It's very much like his thing with, like, Aberan and Gwen was very much like, hey, yeah, cool. You don't know what's going on.
Fuck off.
Yeah, you could, like, hey, like, drops that, like, oh,
I think
go to the pub, drink it. Right.
At this point, the person that Nakul would trust the most, I think, would be Naurranc, because you're kind of in that same.
It has to be Naurranc because he accidentally found out about shit.
Because I got no, but I feel like, you're both on you're both kind of on the same level of like. I'll try to portray myself as something while there's another person or another part of me that really like.
Nakul's view on Naurranc is very weird because he trusts him, but at the same Naurranc is the person Nakul trusts the most and trusts the least at the same time, because as does the person, he trusts him, but he knows nothing about Naurranc, and like it's like he's kind of come out of nowhere and like helped them, but he doesn't like.
I mean,
he doesn't have anything.
You know that Elevantir initially sent him, so.
But even,
and that's
but I
about
mean,
it.
like, that's what he's got as a vouch. But like, as a person, all I know is, hey, he'll steal shit for me, and he's a cool bro. And he's not revealed any secrets to me. But at the same time, Nakul's noticed a lot of party members talking to Naurranc and not the rest of the party. And so he knows Naurranc knows. You had one-on-one with Kissaran. You've had a one-on-one with Actanis. Like we said, hey,
she dragged me in that room. All right.
Exactly. You're dragged in the room. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you've had like these conversations, and Nakul's noticed them because obviously he's been at a bar and goes, hey, why have these 3 people just disappeared like twice? Why is this person why is Naurranc and someone else disappeared? Why is Naurranc and someone else?
I haven't really like realized that until now.
Neither did I.
Naurranc really has had a one-on-one with a couple of
knows a lot about everyone, and then Nakul's
except for Aberan, which no one.
But that's also a little bit in Naurranc's nature, though, with his like, you guys know that he is interconnected with. No, but he's interconnected in the Order of the Obscure. He has to know the people he's around, because he has to know which ones of those people could fuck him over at the end of the road, you know.
Well, like I said, like it's not like a bad thing, but Nakul very much has picked. Yeah, it makes sense. But Nakul's very much picked up on like he knows shit about all of us.
Yeah.
And we know a little, but not anything really. We know like, hey,
and that's how Naurranc likes it.
Yeah, but Nakul doesn't like that because Nakul's like, hey man, I'm not this
guy.
Yeah, I need to get something.
But bro, like.
I'm so ready for our storyline,
when that Naurranc backstory comes in, dude, it's gonna be wild.
So excited.
It's gonna be wild. Like me and Socoler
I'm still working on a couple things for it before I send you the PDF, but it's gonna be cool.
But yeah, Nakul has stuff he wants to do, as we've talked about, and like.
But like I said, because it's D&D, man. Like fucking, we'll be playing a year from now, and we'll have, because we say like, oh, a year, it's long, but like we've been playing for almost half a year, and we're nowhere near. Like we've barely getting started, right? So
yeah, no, right. Like in a year's time, when we're all playing different characters, because we got TPK'd that one time in like 4 months. Episode 38, boys. Episode 38.
Oh yeah, is that what we said? Yeah, shit. 38, right? Yeah. Gotta remember. Yeah, but you guys also.
I thought we switched it because it got leaked though.
Yeah, fuck. You're right.
Oh, you're right.
But yeah, you guys survived the first real boss fight, and which is exciting for me. Because that means that I homebrewed the fuck out of that cunt. Like I made him several stages, and I gave him a bunch of like custom abilities. I gave.
Well, it helps that we fucking stun locked him.
I gave the lair. Like the lair came to life in the lair actions that I customly made. I just looked up how the lair actions work, and I just whatever the lair did, I thought of myself. So like the fog with the hands and shit. That was all.
That was good.
In the head.
That was fucking good.
But like, yeah, if I hadn't gotten those percentile rolls for this.
Yeah, but the thing is, I knew you were going to need that weapon, that stake weapon. That's why I gave it to you. So, and that's still, it's a pretty small chance. But yeah, you guys got really lucky on that aspect because you stun locked him for like the first 3 rounds.
Even then, like we got so lucky, and even then we still almost had a death.
Still almost died, yeah.
So like, it thinks. Let's say we stun him for only like 2 turns left. Those 2 turns could have killed.
I mean, hell, just think if I hadn't hit him, because I think I had a +7 to hit thanks to the +2 to it.
Yes.
Weapon. So I didn't have to roll. I'd roll like basically above a 12. So
Yeah.
it's not, on average, I will roll that.
Yeah, that's average. That's literally average.
Like, so thankfully, didn't roll anything under that. But
the worst thing I
Yeah,
had
couldn't
about
bet.
that fight is just how so as the class I've got with Ancestral Guardians, I'm very much supposed to be a main tank. I'm very much supposed to be up.
Yeah,
in the face,
you were trash tanking.
and
the entire fucking fight,
I got fucking ad tanked, and I was like, fuck me. Like as I was doing it, I'm like, fuck, that's why I had that big decision. I was like, I always asked how many were around me, because I was like, if there's only one, I'll take one hit. But there's like 2 or 3 on me constantly.
yeah, they're always. It's because they spawn like where they can actually run you in a turn.
Yo, das
not
was
anywhere
ich bin. If you like to homebrew your bosses, use Google BBS 5e Reddit. It's a nice new way to make your boss more interesting. I'll check it out, man. Thanks. I'll write that down real quick.
Good show.
Yeah,
Good
but
shouts.
I got just stuck there, and then I was thinking, right, if I take it, because I knew if I get hit 3 times, 1 of them crits, I wasn't enough health to survive 3 good hits. Especially if one was like a bite, or especially like 3 claws maybe, but I was just like, fuck. And then I got fucking charmed. I was like, shit me.
I didn't take any damage.
I mean, that
game.
charm was also really tough DC to beat, man. That was like a DC 17 or 18 to beat. Like, that's tough.
No, I mean, like, I wasn't like mad about charm. The charm was so good to me. Like, I loved the idea of
It
it.
actually worked out for you, yeah.
Well, yeah, it meant
The thing is, I also gave Iandek a charm ability, but he never got to use it. But his DC would have. He never got to
tried
use
to use
it.
it on me.
Oh, he did actually, yeah.
And you
Well,
rolled
I have advantage on,
card.
thankfully, because I rolled it out 1 on my first one.
Yeah, but
That
because you're a
would've
wood
been
elf,
shit.
because of your is it your Fey ancestry
But
that
yeah.
gives you advantage?
Yeah, fan.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
All elves that aren't. I think half elves don't get that, or maybe they do.
No, half elves.
I don't remember if half elves do or not.
And
They
I
do.
think any
Cyrus
elvish,
does.
any
Cyrus
elvish
does.
people. Yeah.
Cyrus
yeah.
is a half elf. Oh shit.
Sure. So yeah, Nakul is an interesting character. I'm excited to see him develop a little more and maybe show his true colors. Also about with Nakul is the whole little plot line because he found that pendant.
That pendant. You don't understand how scared I am of that pendant.
I gotta look something up because that pendant is also a homebrew item. And I gotta
see if anything happens at level 5. Smile.
Yeah. Because
Because your breath weapon increases at 6. We looked this up the other day.
Yeah, 6. I get
Oh, then
it.
it's level 6. Then okay, so level 6 you'll get
Yes,
level
6, my breath
Level
weapon
6,
gets
your dragon daddy will show up again for a little
Oh
talk.
fuck! I don't like the Dragon Daddy. He scares me because I don't know anything
Dragon
about
Daddy
him.
actually comes during the daytime. You literally just like fall
No, the
flat
thing
on the
is,
floor.
I fucking asked him his name and he said, "Nah, I'll tell you later." I'm like,
I have
good combo.
I have a real cool idea.
You're on the rock, bro.
I have a real cool idea for that because I purposely made it a dragon pendant so that it would be obvious that it was probably the Dragonborn who should use that.
yeah,
And then it turned
can use it
it
for
turned
weapon.
blue because you're a blue skin Dragonborn, right? Like your skills are blue.
yeah.
And it works really well together with the feat you picked, where you're a lot more like dragon-esque.
Well, as I've said before, with Nakul, fucking spoilers in the sense of like, hey, this is what I'm planning to do when level up. With a lot of the feats and shit I've been taking, I like the idea that Nakul is becoming more draconic because of his barbarian.
Yeah, like he becomes more. He's more in touch with his draconic ancestry than the typical Dragonborn.
I like it.
which
So
is
like
cool.
in my head, I'm thinking, well, I'm probably gonna take the Dragon Wings feat at some point because it makes sense to me.
That will be hype, dude.
The only
hot.
problem with taking all these feats is they're all like based on dexterity, based on charisma, and those are my 2 lowest scores. And it's just like mechanically, they're shit for me to take. But flavor text, they're amazing. And RP wise, they're amazing for me to take. And I really want to do them. So like, luckily, like
just
there's cool shit out there still, so it doesn't matter.
yeah,
I can't wait for the day when we just randomly wake up, walk out of the room, and
I'm just
Nicole
flying.
fucking wings,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
It'd be the day because Nakul, like, anytime I think about the wings, I'm thinking it's either gonna be sure it's gonna be really painful to suddenly grow wings. So like, just midway through that, Nakul's just gonna scream. It's just like, are you okay?
It's like that scene from X-Men 3, I think, where the dude is like sprouting his like angel wings, starts bleeding everywhere. It's fucking horrible. Yeah.
Or it's just gonna be like, wakes up one day, smile, I can fly.
Yeah. Oh, hey guys, lol. Yeah. So that's Nakul. Nakul is dope. A lot of stuff in the works for him. A lot of
Got a
stuff.
lot going on,
Soko,
which we'll see.
you're the only one in the party that has played 2 characters. You're the only one in either of my campaigns. Your character was my first player character death. So it marked a special moment for
player
you.
cherry, guys.
Yeah, you popped my player death cherry. As a special moment for you, but also for me because I had never I had to go through that. So let's talk about Ashe first, right? Because you made Ashe initially for the campaign, a mystic. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not very glad he's dead because mystics were so dumb. Mystics, can we agree? Mystics are dumb. All say it at the same time, guys.
I was looking at other ones, dude.
1, 2, 3. Mystics are dumb. Thank you. Yeah.
So you can actually make a Jedi out of a mystic. I was looking this up because I was curious.
How does a Dragonborn get wings? There's a feat that allows Dragonborn to like.
I think you have to take 2 feats actually to get the wings, though. You have to take the first one that Nakul has now, and then get the wings later.
Yeah. No, you can take them. You can just take the wings straight up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need dragon hide. You can take them separate. So, but
Dragon hide. I say that for Dragonborns that you have to take like one first and then the other. Is that the one that augments the breath weapon?
No, there's no one for one. What you're thinking of is a draconic ancestry that's used for humans, and it's the basically it's like making a sorcerer class out of feats.
Yeah,
and you have to take number 1, and then you have to take one at level 4, and then you have to take the added one, and it gives you more spells.
There's a feat in Arcana called Dragon Wings. You have to be a Dragonborn. You sprout draconic wings. With your wings, you have a flying speed of 20 feet, and if you aren't wearing any heavy armor and aren't exceeding your carrying capacity. So it's perfect for a barbarian because you don't wear armor.
Yeah.
The problem with this, though,
it's unearthed Arcana.
The biggest problem with it though is 20 feet flight speed is garbage.
I mean, yeah, but like
I can move 40 feet on.
You know, you're up a cliff. But if you have to scale a cliff, you don't need to climb anymore. You can just fly up that cliff instead.
Yeah, but but also like I'm a barbarian, so athletics is like my thing.
No.
But it's
so like flying makes no difference.
It works well with your backstory though, and the fact that you're so like getting more in touch with your draconic ancestry. Anyway, Ashe. Mystics are dumb.
Oh, he dead.
But why did you make Ashe? And tell us about like who was Ashe, and let's just talk about his death as well a little bit. Let's touch on that a little.
The idea came from I was like looking at what kind of classes I could play and what sounds interesting. Right. I was like, Ranger is just one class that I will never play because I'm not interested in anything they have to offer.
Okay, fair.
Like me personally, it's just something I'll never really dip into. Maybe for like a few like levels in a multi-class, but even then I don't think I will.
Yeah, get yourself like a little hunter's mark or something like that. You know.
Yeah, it'd be like very basic stuff, dip in, dip out, and be gone. But then I found the Mystic because I was looking through all the different books and what they added for classes and archetypes and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, all right, this sounds interesting. And when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this could be a really cool character idea. You know, I could be, basically whatever the fuck you want out of any of them from what I've done more reading about. When I first read it, I was like, oh, okay, this sounds cool. Yo, Dutch, are Mystics okay? And of course, Dutch didn't really do any reading on it because he's like, all right, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out, whatever, dude. Like, I don't know if anything. I won't know if I hate anything until I get met with it, right? So.
And then we realized that the rules literally allow a Mystic to do, like, with how they word it, you're able to interpret it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Very differently than how it's supposed to be.
I feel it feels so unfinished. It feels very unfinished. The Mystic as a class is super unfinished and super unbalanced, bro. It's so fucking overpowered. It's insane.
Like, I was at the point where I was having advantage on most of my skill checks because of my psionic focuses.
Yeah.
And like, once we have most of the stats for Ashe, I think, are actually up on the wiki at this point.
Yes, they are.
Most of them, if not all.
All of them, I'm pretty sure.
All of them, yeah, there you go. His percentage is probably higher than anyone else's for.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's fucking.
Because he literally just had advantage on almost everything. He never did shit that he never wasn't really good at.
And the thing that bothered me the most is that we can draw a perfect comparison here. You were level 3? And
I was doing I could do 60 damage in a turn if I rolled perfect rolls.
You were level 3
without critting.
And you did you got into that altercation on your own with Rayson, and in one attack you did 51 damage.
Yep.
At level 3. That goes to show just how fucking broken Mystics are.
And at level 9, you can do 140 damage.
Yeah, it's so
using
dumb.
Like 14 of like your 64 psi points.
That's so dumb, dude.
Or something like that.
Like,
so
it's
not broken though.
Part of me was really happy that he died because, like, as cool as a character that he was just not fun to play with. I would literally bye.
Bye, Koiba.
Bye, Koiba. I just see a big Soko now.
PC just crashed, dude.
I think his PC just froze. Yeah.
Why is my face like super zoomed in? Oh my god, I don't like.
Discord smile.
Hello. There you are. the thing about Mystics is that I would have allowed him, like, I gave you a chance to get out of that death, right? Several chances. I was like,
yeah, you gave me, like, I think there was, like, 3 or 4 different chances that I could have had.
But you refused, which is very, very like a character.
Just, like, lied.
But
if I had lied on my rolls to make them lower, because I knew what was going on. Like, I wasn't supposed to be awake.
The thing is, like, I would have been fine with you playing on, but we would have had to seriously nerf that Mystic ourselves. But you dying saved me a lot of trouble.
Agreed.
So,
I mean, it saved me a lot of time too. Now that I don't have to fuck with it, right?
Yeah. It's.
But I was also kind of like losing interest in him as well.
That's fair.
Because I couldn't really decide how I wanted to roleplay him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was kind of getting close to Sora.
It got really close to your other character. Really close. Hell, even Naurranc has some similarities, but Naurranc is a lot more funny and charismatic.
Naurranc is what I feel like. So what I tried to go with Naurranc is I wanted to go on like the opposite side, where he's like pretty outgoing for a person, like, you know, not amazing.
Naurranc is this like very funny, charismatic dickhead. That
even though he has like
but the way you play him is just he knows his way to sweet talk his way to a lot of things.
He's a confident guy. You don't give a
exactly.
Shit. Like...
which causes for a lot of fun things, like when you try to seduce a high priestess and think you'll actually get the smash.
Dude, if I could have smashed the High Priestess, that would have been like the crown jewel of his life, alright?
Like, he could happily die like 10 minutes later, but he would, as long as he could tell one person.
Dry, dude.
If only he could talk to one person about it, tell him about it, his legacy, and just drop dead, he'd be a happy man.
Facts.
Brag the party.
So Naurranc, not gonna lie, I feel like I had a big influence in you picking Naurranc's class.
Yeah, because I was like, you know, I was a little distraught after Ash died.
You cried, man. You cried on stream. Big daddy tears.
Not like, especially when you actually like get really invested in even just the story. Like, maybe not per se in the character exactly, but just in the story and how it went down, dude. Like, I was a little teary.
I feel like I definitely, like, because I had to improv that entire fucking altercation with Ash dying, and I feel like he got a
you did a good job.
A good send off.
He having that.
He died the way he lived, very arrogant
asshole.
Yeah, like, I don't want to call him an asshole, but yeah, like a little bit of a dickhead. Like, very cocky. Like, his pride got the best of him in the end.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, with Naurranc, I just wanted someone different. I wanted to go to a different side, but I was like, especially with like the accent, I was like, all right, I kind of want to go a little like Western Southern with this, you know?
Hey, y'all.
Smooth as molasses. All right.
Does Naurranc like cream pies?
If they existed, do they exist?
Sure, dude. I just decided they exist.
Favorite food.
Oh man, yeah. Naurranc is definitely a character that I love the gunslinger class, right? The gunslinger class is
especially
dope.
the one that shout out Gypsy for pointing us towards the book.
Yeah.
That actually made it a class. Because
we went towards the fighter archetype gunslinger, and then Gypsy was like, "Hey, arcane artillery is a thing. In that one, gunslinger is like a proper class." And we checked that out, and it's so cool. It's so dope.
It's got like, you know, it's got like fucking attachments I can build, different guns. It's got all this. There was even siege weaponry in there that Dutch can use like for on like the walls of a city.
Yeah. Like the first thing we really like, you tinkered one thing so far from that book. You tinkered grenades.
Yeah, which like wasn't quite explicitly in the book.
I feel like the way we did it was pretty alright. Like, I let you just depending on the time you had, I let you roll tinkering checks. Several days needed to make the grenades. I had you buy the shit you needed. I feel like we did pretty well.
I think you did a really good job with it, and I think the best part was, okay, so Naurranc, for those of you that may not know, his intelligence score is an 8, which is the lowest you can have using standard array or point buy, without someone permanently reducing it with a spell or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But basically, when I was tinkering those grenades, there was a time when we were in the cart, and then you said, "Oh yeah, it's a little rough. You'd have to roll with disadvantage." And Naurranc, you know, he's a wise boy, so he's like, "Oh, I trust myself. I know my street skills and knowledge. You know, I can fucking do this." Luckily, I rolled 2 12s with a +5 modifier, so we were solid.
But like, if you would have fucked that up, because you were making explosives while traveling in a small cart,
would it have triggered my other explosives too, right?
Yeah, if one of those 3 cunts blows up, all 3 of them blow up in that close of proximity.
That means 9d6.
So everyone would have taken 9d6 damage. You could have easily.
That could kill
everyone.
Most of the party.
That could kill most of. It would kill all of us at that time.
Yeah, at that time we would have killed every one of you.
Yeah. Well, we were unconscious. We probably died. But we
okay, but
yeah, but if we're all unconscious,
if you're all unconscious, who's gonna come help? Who's gonna come help?
Sure, I suppose.
Yeah, like.
So.
I mean, to be fair though, it's a dex save, so I probably would have been okay. Oddly enough.
Yeah, but that I would have given you severe.
You actually didn't really dodge
I
that.
would have given you severe disadvantage on those saves though, because you're literally in a fucking closed cart.
I mean, I have like a +5 on the saves. It's not too horrible.
+0, boys.
So
well,
you would have definitely fucked up some of the people.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
Yeah. Luckily that didn't happen. One thing about Naurranc as well is something that we've not revealed toward the party yet, or anyone watching, is his backstory.
Just you.
His backstory, and his backstory is really fucking cool.
It's gonna rock the campaign.
I think so too. I think so too. Yeah, definitely.
Because I can't wait to see Koiba's reaction. Koiba's reactions are some of the best things
thank you.
that I've noticed so far, because
Koiba is a very passionate, like.
I'm just very expressive. That's the problem. Like I'm so into it. I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what I love about it though. Is like it makes it worth. It's gonna make it worth it to see your reaction when it gets like, when either it gets dragged in through other things, or if I bring it up and it ends up going to, through my backstory stuff.
Yeah. The place and the thing with the people, and that one guy and the place and the location where that all happens.
Skills your dad. Yeah, I know how it goes.
It's gonna be a good time. Okay. Now that we've got your background with D&D, we got your characters. What could have gone differently last session? Last session was pretty linear because you had a 3.5-hour boss fight.
Any of those percentile rolls.
So much could have gone wrong. Last session could.
There's a couple of things that didn't happen that fight.
Okay.
Iandek has an ability where he can summon. Besides the lair summoning vampires, if he would have been. He would have been able to summon them as well, like wake them up from their tombs, and he would have rolled 1d10 worth of vampires show up next round.
There's like 30 of those. What the fuck?
1d10. Yikes! Yeah. Anything more than like a 5 is a big yikes for that.
But
so it's a good thing we kind of kept him occupied.
He couldn't get to that because you kept paralyzing him at the beginning of the fight, and by the point that he was able to actually do some stuff, he was already surrounded, and he just had to act. That was definitely a thing. He would.
1d10 vampires, dude.
Another thing that didn't happen is he got blocked off from his resting place because of the running water, which is really Laura used her fucking big boy brain for that. Because we'll talk about the actual mechanics because it's vampires, when they end their turn in running water, take X amount of acid damage. But so vampires who are just walking through it, they can just walk through it. But if they end their turn in the water, that's when they take damage. But
how much damage do you take?
A couple of dice worth of acid damage. Not sure how many. I have to look it up.
So if Laura had ran water through them.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Weird.
Or if she made a circle through them at the end of her turn, maybe.
No, it specifically says when a vampire ends its turn in water, in running water. Another thing that you could have done is if somehow you would have just try. You guys were underground, right? But you guys were under his the way the tunnel system led you. You guys were under his garden area, his yard. But you were pretty close to the surface.
We could have broken out the ceiling.
Yes, you could have broken out the ceiling
sunlight come
to
in.
make sunlight come in.
Thrown a grenade at the ceiling.
For instance,
damn, that's
to have
really
sunlight come in. That's something that you could have done, and a big beam of sunlight would come in, making it a lot harder for vampires to maneuver around. And depending on the impact of the grenade.
We could have just fucking dug straight in from the top. You don't have to go through the fucking house. Could just dug straight in.
You could have done that too. Yeah, technically.
Just fall. I mean, we'd fall however many feet down is like 20 feet, easy.
So yeah, that was a thing that you could have done as well, which would have given the fight a whole nother turn. That would have been fucking cool. Iandek had an ability that I called Group Charm, where it's like anyone who is near him within 30 feet that can look him in the eyes would have had to roll a charm save.
I was so scared.
He didn't do that because at the time where he finally was able to do shit, he was so focused on just pounding on Sir Rufus, and his like primal, animalistic, bestial revenge state was just, fuck everyone else, I'm going for that cunt, she has to die.
I was so scared of AoE shit from that fight, because like, there's so many just like shit he could do. Like he could just do like, hey, necrotic nuke, fuck everyone in the 30-foot radius, take like 12.
I purposely didn't give him any like big AoE things because, in combination with the Lair, who had some pretty significant stuff, and the fact that he just does fuckloads of damage on attacks, I decided to not give him too much AoE to keep it a little bit balanced.
That's like the big thing when you see like everyone grouped around him. Like I was just ready for a Dutch, like, hey, everyone in this area here around him, go fuck yourself. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I purposely.
That's what I was like trying.
I purposely made his attacks just so strong, so that he didn't have any AoE really to fucking. Because the thing is, he was super feral, right? Like he had several stages. You had his normal vampire state, which you fought at the circus. He was just a normal vampire man's. Him losing that fight caused him to just get more and more angry, which made him able to turn into that bestial, bat-like vampire that you fought. And then halfway through the fight, when his almost like just adrenaline rush of just getting a beating and the halfway point of his HP bar triggered that next phase where he grew another 5 foot and actually became a monstrosity where any humanity in him left was just gone, and he was just a bloodthirsty animal.
If only Gypsy used whole person before that.
Yeah, he was a humanoid. The first and second phase. The third phase, that humanity was gone, and he was just a monstrosity. 15 foot tall, nothing human-like in him anymore. If he would have been able to get to his resting place, he could have, because Zodin was there, the little Cambion boy.
Yeah.
And he was PMing motherfucker.
If he would have made it to his resting place, Zodin would have appeared and attempted to plane shift him out of there, because they were still under a contract. But
fuck.
So
fucking Laura, man. I knew the second Laura did that, I knew it was gonna be a big play. And I was like, that's such a good idea.
Zodin was there.
He said that the mist couldn't get out. That's when I was like, ooh.
Well, and then the second, and then the second he went, oh yeah, it was on like that main altar. I was like, we've just done it. Like that's like, we just have to DPS it down now. Like,
if that water would not have been there and he would have made it to his resting spots in his mist form, Zodin would have appeared, would have walked up from behind where he was, grabbed Iandek as soon as he materialized again, which happens instantly when they reach their resting point, and then you have to like roll a dice, and in like 1d4 hours he's back to his normal like whatever, or he's like he's okay, and the longer he rests, the more powerful he gets. But yeah, like Zodin would have plane shifted him out because they were technically still under a contract, under a deal, which would have lengthened this Actanis story arc significantly. Because where the fuck did he bring him? You don't know, right? Like he would have gotten away.
Oh, it would have been on the back burner, and then suddenly like, hey,
exactly.
I'm back. I'm now like
he would have he would have straight up gotten away, because I could have.
That would have been good yet bad, I think.
Story-wise, have been amazing. However,
but it was
fuck
also
dealing with that shit now.
It was also very satisfying to see you guys kill him though, like for real.
Oh yeah.
And the
I'm
fact
so
that
sad
Actanis
didn't get a killing
got her.
That's
Dude,
the saddest
I'm so
thing.
sad I didn't.
No.
I was like, oh, Hans is actually gonna miss his attack. Well, I'll be fine. I'll get the killing blow.
Nah, man, Tremaris with his Eldritch Blast. Dead.
My biggest thing was I really wanted. No,
I don't think so.
I thought I'm pretty sure he not 20.
No, 19 to them turn into a 20, I think. Or something stupid.
I don't know, but it's whatever. Like it would have killed him regardless, because that fucking flurry of blows that Actanis did really hit. That he had like 10 HP left after that. So Actanis almost got the killing blow.
Like Actanis, like Nakul's big thing was like, I want to get like, even both in and out character, I wanted like the amount of like just vindication and just satisfaction of you killing that person. Instead, she didn't even see him die.
No, that's the nature of the game sometimes, man.
She was unconscious.
It's the nature of the game. Sometimes, homie.
And I was like, oh, she woke up and just saw she was. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, man. It's D&D.
It's almost
tough.
more heart.
It was really good. Oh yeah. Oh, like,
yeah,
it was
like,
good, but it was like.
I think the way I would have written it, if he would have been plane shifted out, I think the way that I would have written it, like, yeah, you would have not seen him for a good few months, and then suddenly,
yeah, suddenly, hey, there's reports of this big bad vampire.
when you least expected, he would just be there, you know. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. So there's a lot of things that could have gone differently, but at the end of the day, you fought the boss, you beat the boss, you leveled up, you had some drinks, said goodbye to Gwen, and next week is just going to be a fun, little bit of a filler episode, just chilling, you know, character development a little bit, have some fun.
We say fun chiller, it's probably going to be the most group-intensive,
drinking games.
Fuck you, no, fuck you!
Wrestle arm
that's
tournament.
What D&D's about, though. Is like just arguing your shit out until
I know, right? Like
someone caves.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
let's see, what else do I have to talk about? I'm working on the wiki still. The wiki is being worked on, but that is there. We officially have over 100 pages on the wiki now, so there's a bunch of shit you can already. A lot, mainly the locations and the NPCs you've encountered are there to look at stat-wise and just see who they are. I'm working on like the items of significance now, so all like the magical artifacts that the party possesses. The chromosphere as well, like just the magical items are up there now.
I like how you made that pop up.
What?
I love how you made the chromosphere pop up again.
In our early campaign?
Not in this campaign.
In our early campaign? Yeah, man.
Early campaign.
It's the same world, so I can just do this.
I know, it's good. I just, you know.
And the fun thing is, depending on how that goes, that will then impact this campaign again.
Oh,
because
fuck. Not like this.
If we ended up actually doing that,
depending on how you guys now deal with that chromosphere situation up north, that will also impact. Like, okay,
dude, I wish
that will have direct consequences to the Dungeon Select campaign.
No pressure, Soko. Don't fuck the wall.
Dude, I mean, my character is really good at fucking shit up in that campaign. Like, I think
don't fuck the wall, Soko.
On average, Sora does like a shit ton of damage thanks to his venomous daggers he has.
Yeah.
Like, dude deals like 40 damage a turn.
Yikes. I mean, if they miss the save, though.
If they miss the con saves, but the con save is like 15. Like, it's pretty high. It's
pretty significant. Yeah, but you know.
But a lot of people have a high con.
Yeah, Constitution is not typically is a pretty high stat across the board for whatever creature you fight.
Yeah, because spellcasters need it for concentration checks, and everyone else needs it. For
but and a lot of animals and beasts also have a pretty good Constitution. If they don't, it typically isn't really an animal you want to waste your poison daggers on. Like, ooh, giant rats. Ooh, okay, yeah, oh, shit, dude.
Yo, dude, those are scary shit, bro.
Plus, but the thing is also as well, in that campaign, you fought dragon wormlings. You fought a lot of devils, a lot of demons, who are all pretty resistant to poison. So far, your daggers have not really made that much of a difference.
Yeah.
You fought a lot of creatures and things.
I mean, just having that +1 though is pretty nice. To attack rolls and damage.
Yeah, of course, but yeah.
Fucking turning level
the sneak attacks are really fucks people up, to be honest. Like, especially at later levels. Oh man.
Sneak attacks insane.
Good.
Let's see, like I ran out of stuff that I really wanted to discuss. I think we've gone through it most. So if anyone in chat still has a question, or you guys have questions that you need to answer.
Well, I don't have a question, but like it's just a point. I think quite funny how like backstory-wise, Naurranc and Nakul are probably two of the people we've not seen much of.
Like, yeah, besides Aberrant.
And besides Aberrant. But like Nakul-wise, like we've only seen what he said to Naurranc, and even then, like I feel like even with that, like part of me didn't want to tell you dick, right? Part of me wants to just like say nothing, but
you almost had to so that he would stop bugging you about it.
But then I had to tell you something, and I was like, it's just important. That's all you need to know. Like, just shut the fuck up, leave it out. Like stop.
He's got thoughts.
Like, stop asking questions. Oh yeah, I said at some point, I want to hear what your thoughts are about that. Just like not here.
Yeah, like, that'd be spoilers, like, once you and me need to sit down at some point and really start fleshing that out, so I know kind of in what direction to steer you as well.
Yeah, but
I need some more input from your end to make sure that
that's fine.
That's the thing when like especially like because we just had a like Belle's story arc. I had a lot of like DMs with Belle, like, okay, listen, I'm gonna do this. I like at that point I'm not playing with things that I write myself anymore. At that point I'm like taking someone else's vision and
and he doesn't want to fuck it up.
Molding
Well,
that.
that's what
and
like
I
I've
really
tried
don't
to
wanna
give
fuck it up,
you
no.
stuff that like with backstories. There's a lot that my character doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, like the thing with Belle that mainly scared me was Shep, Bree, Leia, Elvin, Iandek, all characters that she created. So she had a certain visual and like in her mind about those characters. So I needed to make sure that is also what she got in the session. And I discussed it a little bit when she was on. That was of something I really like. I was a little like monk ass about, because if I like, that's not something I create. Like if I Nakul, Mokin, Medjern, fucking Gildy, Elevantir are all characters that I made. So if I one day decide, oh, they look like this now, that's fine, because I made them. I can edit them whatever the fuck I want. But when it comes to characters like Iandek or Shep or any of the circus folk really, besides Madame Tranil and the Orc, and Gwen were all Belle's creation. So I wanted to make sure that
Wait, the
I did that right.
Was her creation too?
No, that was the one. That was the one that I created.
Okay. I was like, wait.
Oh, everyone has to ask that question, right? Fortune teller.
Yes, I would. Everyone
general
has
question. Everyone has to ask the question on Dungeon Discourse. Come on, guys.
What would
Part
the
of the course.
What would the fortune teller have told you? Okay. Your fortune teller, Nakul, would have gotten something along the lines of the identity behind.
Oh fuck! No, I should have talked to the fortune teller. I should have
go back.
I shouldn't have thrown a ball at a goblin, for fuck's sake.
You would have gotten something of a little bit of a hint towards.
Was it worth it for us to kill mess with the goblin?
Oh, obviously. Fucking come on now.
And Naurranc would have gotten. I need to make sure that I word this without spoiling too much.
I know, dude. It's so hard to not spoil it. It really is a struggle.
Naurranc would have gotten a hint towards the current location of the thing that he lost.
Oh.
So long ago.
Yeah, that helps.
Write this down. Write this down.
Like, you know what I mean, right, Soko?
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like
like the first thing that I lost.
When Naurranc
when
Naurranc was young.
Yeah.
The location of where currently
was
is.
Was it his car keys?
That's big. Oh my god.
Was it his car keys?
I'm going back.
No, we're not.
No, that's metagaming. That's metagaming.
I've been looking for that guitar pick for years.
Then he might be interested.
Been looking for that guitar pick for years. Yeah, dude.
He's just like, damn, where'd I put my keys?
It's a Lear pick. Okay.
Oh, sorry, dude. My bad. Yeah. So yeah, everyone has. Who else? There's one that we haven't had on yet. Oh, Laura hasn't been on yet, but Kassirin got her fortune. So yeah, now we have every fortune has been told now. Out here, lit.
Fuck, I'm so mad now. Because well, this is a big thing. Going back to like that book is Nakul didn't know much about what he was looking for, and then suddenly in the place that makes the most sense, find something. Like that's how I've always read it. Nakul knew very, very little for what he was looking for, and just was like, I know what this thing looks like, and that's it. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, like, you now know the origin of the emblem, and if you would have gone to the fortune teller, you would have learned more about the current people who use that emblem. Like,
I still need to fucking get that book translated. Fuck, I forgot about that.
What fucking language was it even in?
I don't know. Don't tell me.
I couldn't read it though, could I?
You couldn't read it either. No, because
it's either gonna be some bullshit like ancient language that like, oh, by no one reads this anymore. It's like Latin, like or like ancient Greek. Yeah, no one reads this smile, so good luck getting it translated.
I mean,
or
you were told that you had to go like the Archmage for it. So
I was also told that it's like pre-calamity like thing. So you know, it's like
it could just be Dutch's own made-up language, you know.
Yeah, it's a pre-calamity like.
Like Gypsy has those in his campaign as well. Like I think every province has their own language or these things. So.
Translator, I must ask, do you speak ancient bullshit speak? I happen to, as a matter of fact, Profane, I do. I created it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I thought that fortune teller, I created her because I knew at least some of you are going to be interested in like ooh. And I figured even if someone would have been like really closeted about their background, it would have exposed something.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
you know, that's a little bit why I decided to put that in, so that if people do decide to go there, even though it is Oksana's her story right now, we'll still get a snippet of someone else's story as well. And then the whole Tremaris thing, I talked about it with Tremaris, right? With him finding that staff and his alignment shifting from lawful good to chaotic good. That is something that could have happened. That could have happened that session, but it could also just happen like in months from now.
I'm so mad.
You guys just happen to go towards a temple, and that would be the trigger point for his staff to be like, Zzz, there's something there, or nearby.
Which was such a cool, like, you know.
Yeah, because I wrote that, and I was like, they could go to the temple district literally tomorrow, or they could go there like months from now, happen to come back and be like, oh hey, ooh.
What I think is great is that, you know, even though I have a great perception, I rolled like shit, so I didn't see anything.
Hey, all you saw was
which I think made it that much better, because then no one even knows about it. Everyone's just like, oh hey, he has
we know
new staff.
exactly.
All you know now is that he has a shiny new staff.
Yeah.
Which is so mad, like from a.
Which he told us he got in the temple, which
exactly.
isn't
Makes
wrong.
It's technically wrong because the building he went into was not part of the temple. It was just on the temple district.
But I mean, we don't know that.
Like it was on the temple grounds, but it was something that's like a dilapidated fucking building that hasn't really been touched for decades.
Nakul talked to Tremaris like moments before he gets that shit, be like, "Hey, you're right. You've seen difference and shit went down." Fucking to like out 1 hour later is new staff, new shit. I'm like, fuck, I've mistimed this conversation, haven't I? Shit. Fucking.
Yeah, man.
and I go to Tremaris again, like, hey, you fine, dude? Because like, he's already asked, and he's like, yep, cool, he's fine.
You're all mate.
Right.
Anyone in chat have any questions they want answers to? The previous episode of Dungeon Select will be up tomorrow evening on the YouTube. This Dungeon Discourse will be up Friday evening on the YouTube. Any questions before we move on to other things?
I say, I'm trying to think if I've got any questions for like you guys, but not really. Like,
I mean, I have questions, but I know the answers to them. So.
Hey man.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's for skill?
Well, it's things that if you told me, I'd be mad at you if you told me anyways. So
I know, right?
I already have like a couple of things regarding that for skill plotline that I'm working on.
Dude, I'm ready for that.
Pretty lit.
Lit for that.
It's definitely something that will like. It's definitely something that gets a lot of build up because you're gonna have to track down all those cultists and. Won't they succeed? They're actually summoning the cunt. Will you kill them all before they find all the 10 different colors of Dragonborn, or will you find them after?
Hell, will we die before we even find anything out? You know.
Fucking I'm still really interested, Soko, in what you think is going on, and like obviously don't talk about it here because it's a big thing.
I don't really have enough to like say like a solid guess.
No questions, but for a D&D Insider, this was pretty sick to listen in on. Hey man.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Cool. I'm glad that you.
That's what I love about D&D though. Is like you can have like just a random conversation, and anyone can walk into it and still like kind of understand. And that's what got me.
Definitely,
really,
well, it's storytelling. But at the end of the day, it's just.
At the end of the day, you're just telling a fantasy story
without playing a video game.
Yeah, you're telling a fantasy story. It's like reading Lord of the Rings for the first time. You know, like you're
reading Lord of the Rings, but like you don't know what's happening next. So.
Yeah. No, I never said I understood. Hey man, listen, you were here, smile, that's what matters most. With that said, I think this has been Dungeon Discourse for this week. I'm going to keep streaming immediately because I'm going to switch to Apex Legends, that's the name. Battle Royale made by the Titanfall devs, Respawn. Pretty solid game. I'm going to play some more tonight. Sok was going to join me. I think Duke wants to play, so we'll slot him in first. Yeah, dude, I started playing last night Profane because it came out, and it's so good. It's so much fun. It's great. It's nuts. It
feels just amazing compared to everything else. Everything else is a fucking shithole compared to it.
Yeah, like it's surprisingly well made. Yeah.
For a new game, especially a free one.
Yeah, exactly. It's free to play as well. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't, go download it.
Well, even if you do download it, mine crashes because it's a piece of shit. Fucking worst game I've made.
That's probably more due to your PC.
The thing is, though, every Battle Royale crashes on my like computer. Nothing game does. Only Battle Royales.
I mean, Battle Royales are also some of the most.
Yeah, it's made by Respawn, the guys who did Titanfall, so their gunplay and stuff is pretty solid.
Facts.
So yeah, I'm gonna go switch to that. Thanks for joining us, Koiba. Appreciate you, mate.
Yeah, no problem. I can actually open up OBS.
Yeah, we'll just hop in the Level Select Discord because Duke will be there too.
Fuck Duke, dude.
I'll see you later this week, and if not, then hey, see y'all Sunday for Dungeon Select.
Saturday.
Saturday for gypsies.
Oh, that's Saturday of Gypsies campaign. True, you're right.
Yeah,
My
dude.
bad. Fuck yeah.
That is.
Fucking hype,
And I
bro.
got D&D tomorrow evening as well, because tomorrow evening I have Opti's campaign. I'll be out.
Oh,
here.
you guys are actually doing that tomorrow?
3 days of D&D.
Sorry, I don't mean to sound so
That's
sweet.
sweet.
Anyway.
See you later, boys. Thanks for watching Dungeon Discourse. Let's play some fucking video games.